Sind Sie Bulle?
Ich? Nein, bin ich nicht.
Tja, aber Sie sehen mächtig wie einer aus.
Bin kein Polizist, nein.
First motivation was to make a exciting, exhilarating, enigmatic, suspenseful thriller. But then during the writing process, I began to fall madly in love with many of the characters, the good characters and the bad characters also. And then I slowly realized that I was writing a film, a period piece, but with the logic of Brazil in recent years, when Brazil took a turn to the right. So I think it's almost like a documentary in disguise, even if it's very classically narrative, as a feature. It's a good question, but I'm still learning with the film. I was in Spain in the last 3 days, and I had a lot of strong reactions from Spanish observers, critics. They thought a lot about the history of Spain and Franco, for example, and how society has to deal with memory. It's similar thing in Brazil. I think Europe has many issues. I mean, it's happening everywhere, the US, Latin America. The collective memory seems to be shorter and shorter. So I think the film is very much about remembering or choosing not to remember. Finding the city from the past in a modern Latin American city, which is changing all the time. It's changing because of money-related decisions, lack of interest in architecture and classic architecture. So finding the old city in the new cities was the toughest challenge in the film. But every film is a challenge. Every film is like a mountain. This was the highest mountain I climbed so far. When I make a film, I feel like I'm putting together an album of images that I can show, to you or to friends. And they might, go through the album and say, I learned something, interesting pictures, and they're meaningful, and some of them moved me. That's my only pretense in terms of when I make films. I don't want to teach anything to anyone, and I don't want to bring a message, But if you enjoy looking at the album, I would be happy with that.
Die Namen sind ja schließlich zu eurer eigenen Sicherheit. Es ist ungewohnt, wenn man plötzlich einen anderen Namen hat.
Und hier? Da wird halt improvisiert auf die brasilianische Art, um sich vor Brasilien selbst zu schützen.